The organization was structured by Mr. Indulal Shah, who I think was a gem of a person in organizing organizations of work. He being the Khadi board chairman and working in rural uplift in India, he was very much tuned and he had help, and the organization was actually already there when Swami introduced me to the organization. So it was structured. The Seva Dhal we started. The Bal Vikas started with Mrs. Indulal Shah and Sarla Ben Shah, and it runs beautifully today. The magazine it brings out gives simple, beautiful anecdotes about Swami and anecdotes from different religions. And it's a great magazine to have, the Bal Vikas magazine. It's a very great magazine to have. Some of the senior teachers have been trained to become gurus, that is Bal Vikas teachers. And they have also a very structured training, and they teach our young kids what to do. I never had the benefit of that training when I was a kid. But this children who have joined the Bal Vikas today have that. So Swami, out of his infinite love, Swami made one statement to us. And I think I will now repeat that statement, which I think is a very important statement for everyone to understand. Swami said, Rama came, the avatar, the Rama, and left us the Ramayana. Krishna came and left us the Bhagavad Gita. This avatar, pointing to himself, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba said, this avatar came for your transformation. What do I mean by transformation? Here, let me quote to you from an ancient Persian poem called the Rubaiyat, which actually depicts, to my mind, exactly why Swami has come here. The two stanzas from the Rubaiyat stand out. There was a door to which I found no key. I quote now from the Rubaiyat. There was a door to which I found no key. There was a veil past which I could not see. Some talk a while between me and thee, and then no more of me and thee. Then to the rolling heavens itself I cried, asking what lamp had destiny to guide. Thy million stumbling at thy door, an understanding awareness, heaven replied. An understanding awareness. Swami has come to give us that understanding awareness. He says beautifully, because behind the word is the power of God. So this is the word that Swami says. You are not human beings. You are spiritual beings undergoing a human experience in order to realize the divinity that is already existing within you. You are not a human being undergoing human experience. You are spiritual beings, or you are not human beings trying to evolve towards spirituality. You already are spiritual beings undergoing a human experience in order to understand what divinity is, in order to acquire your heritage and understand what divinity is all about. Out of his infinite love, not only has he just left us with that sentence, but he has structured an organization, educare, social care, all kinds of seva care, all kinds of things in order for us to realize through different parts how to achieve that goal. Some do it out of love. Some do it out of dhyan, means meditation. Some do it out of service, depending upon the like way. So he has structured for us a path. The Seva Dhal, the Mahila organizations, the Bhajan Mandalis. These are all sort of devoted ones. Some sing in devotion to the Lord. Others work in devotion to the Lord. When Swami says, I remember an English couple, a middle-aged couple, coming to Swami. I was standing by Swami's side. When they said, Swami, you have done so much for us. We want to do something for you. We are now very sufficient in funds, so we would love to do something for you. So Swami says, no, I don't need anything. Thank you very much. Good, that you are happy, I am happy. No, but Swami, please tell us. We want to serve you in some way. We have got sufficient funds. We want to utilize. We want your input into what we should do. When they persisted for quite a while, Swami said, if you want to serve me, then do what I say. Listen carefully. When you see things, you think you see it through my eyes. When you hear things, you think you see it through my ears. When you speak things, you think that I am speaking with that tongue. When you do work, you think that my hands are doing that work. When you walk, you think that my legs are walking to it. If you identify yourself with me, I will be served enough. I will be very happy. This is the identification that Swami has come to teach us. You put him on a pedestal. He doesn't want to, yes, that's good. That's reverence, but he doesn't want to stay there. You hold him, not when he says normally, if you put me in front of you, you will not be able to catch up. If you put me behind you, I may not want to follow. But if you walk with me by your side and hold my hand, I don't promise you a smooth passage, but I will never let go your hand, whatever happens. This is the thing that Swami wants us to do, to identify ourselves with him. This is the structure that Swami has put forward for our benefit, for our hold. So that different strokes, different tunes. So different people have different likes and different dislikes. Some like to approach him with the intellect, others like to approach him through devotion with heart, others like to approach him with service. Swami says a human being is born with three gifts. The gifts of the head, the gifts of the heart, and the gifts of the hand. And when he's imbibe in your head good thoughts, he says, learn the skills of those good thoughts and work through them through the hands. But do it with devotion and with love. And it is when the head, the heart, and the hand, the three H's, as Bhagwan Sathya Sai Baba says, works in unison, in that level you will become a truly enlightened human being. This is what I want. Meditation, I don't want you to sit with pose. Not that you should not sit, but you must understand that thought is a unit of consciousness. And what you are trying to do is to pinpoint that consciousness with meditation. Every work that you do, if you do it with uttermost concentration and uttermost devotion, that itself is meditation. Meditation doesn't mean you sit in a secluded corner or go to a forest or shut your mind off. These are all practices in order to still the mind, to get that concentration. But every work, that is why he says work is worship and duty is God. Love all, serve all. I have a small poem which, if you permit me, I will recite to you. A small prayer, I would rather say. It's an ever-present Swami, Father, Mother, and ever the Sai. With folded hands, we ask of thee the gift of the good mind, so that we may think good thoughts, speak good words, and do good deeds. Forever keep us on the path of Satya, the path of truth, so that we walk life's highways and byways without fear or favor, with love in our hearts, your name on our lips, and good actions flowing through our hands, knowing that work is worship and duty is God, loving all, serving all, hating none, helping ever. This prayer we beseech thee to grant, O Lord. All forms are yours, all names are yours. Jai Sai Ram. This is the small prayer. This is how they structure. The Swami, out of his infinite mercy for us, has given us a structure in order that we may realize the divinity that is inherent in us. This is his main purpose of coming on earth, he says, according to my understanding. His main purpose is to transform. Transform us to what? Somebody asked me, how do we go inwards? Exactly how Swami says. If you see things, see it with my eyes. If you do things, you identify with him, you have already gone inwards. You have already understood the real meaning of life. You ask, I have been asked, what drives people to do the wonderful service that you see spread all throughout India? The way I can think is, behind the word, there is the power of God. They've heard Swami speak about these services. They've heard Swami talk about these services. Somewhere, someplace, the divinity within us strikes a chord with the divinity that is inherent in the form of, say, Sathya Sai Baba. And we like to do things we think that we are doing it for him. Actually, Swami points out we are doing it for ourselves. And therefore, All these things are done. I have myself traveled in many parts of the world, and I have seen the utter dedication for people who have not seen him, who have not even had a glimpse of him, but they heard his word. And behind that word is, if you take that word inside, the scriptures talk many things. Many scriptures say the first word was Om, and that started the world. Well, all the things that he has said, if it strikes a spiritual chord in you, you do it, and then you work as to the ability which strikes you as the most. Some people are making films out of him, out of love and devotion for him. Some people are building hospitals out of love and devotion for him. Some people are doing things. But we fail to understand that Swami inspires us to do this himself. Let me tell you a story. When he asked me to be trustee of a trust, I told Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba that, Swami, I'm an orthodontist. I have one single sheet of paper as my balance sheet. I find it difficult to read that. Now, why do you want me to be a trustee? Remember, Swami always tells us that that thing you are most diffident about, you do, and conquer that. So I told Swami, why do you want? He says, you are not the doer, I am the doer. When I tell you to do something, do it. Today, I am the trustee of 29 nations in my professional organization. And I am the treasurer, and I have to submit yearly audit and a 6-monthly audit of 29 nations, of different cultures, different trade, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Thailand, to Sri Lanka, India, Burma, all of these countries together. The people of different cultures, and I have been there for the last 12 years, re-elected 12 times because of Swami's grace. Because Swami told me once to be a trustee and do the things. That is why people do things, because Swami graces them to do it. I think behind every act of ours, there is the force of Swami. The only thing is we have to recognize that. But every move of ours, there is the force of Swami. Every food that we take it in Swami's name. Every act that we do, if we do it as a dedication in his name, then that will be selfless service. Then that will be real work going inside. And people do those things in order that inwardly there is that desire to reach the divinity that is already present within us. And Swami has graced us with the ability to work in order to realize that divinity.